Hello again, me again. So as we just saw in the video that former President Mike Stigall recorded for us for our 45th anniversary 5 years ago, quite a lot has been achieved over the last 50 years. I think it's easy sometimes to get caught up in the day-to-day things and forget where we were right back at the beginning. So it's always good to have a look back and see what we've achieved. What I'd like to do now is just update that and give you an insight into what's been achieved and what's been done by the PF over the last 5 years. And then I'll particularly focus on the work that I've done since I took up the presidency a year ago. Wow. So in the last 5 years, we have consulted with the Law Commission on the changes to the laws around weddings. It's likely to take a few years yet, but hopefully in the next few years we'll have some sort of ability to have a legal handfasting, which would be amazing. We've taken part in the ICSA inquiry, which is the independent inquiry into child sexual abuse. All the details of that can be found on their website. I can't say too much about it, but I can say that we've taken part. So. Our advocacy officer successfully managed to talk to CAFCAS, which is the organisation that deals with children and their families in court. So now every one of their officers has the PF contact details should they have any queries when it comes to the beliefs of pagans when they're in that system. As Mike said in the last video, the disabilities team established our online festivals that year, and we're still going strong 5 years later. Those festivals, we're told, are a particular boon to the members of our community who are unable to get out and celebrate with groups, whether due to disability or their jobs or any other reason. We have grown our community support teams to try to include support for those in our community who are disabled, LGBTQIA, and our children and families team has begun providing not only support but resources for pagan families. We've also established a new cultural cohesion team, and our interfaith and education teams are going strong. We have begun to build links with pagans within the defence community. Over the last few months, Scottish PF has run a survey about discrimination of pagans, and the results that are coming through from that show us that we've still got a lot of work to do, that pagans are still greatly discriminated against, and that you know we're still needed. We also supported and backed a UN project, which is a global project aimed at tackling crimes that are committed in the name of witchcraft. A lot of them are particularly heinous and surround myths that pagans and witches are evil. So that's something that we're particularly keen to support. Of course, we've supported our community through the pandemic over this last year. It's been an interesting year for all of us, and it's been a hard year for most. And we will continue to support wherever and wherever we can. A few short months ago, we managed to join the Network for Pastoral, Spiritual and Religious Care in Health. This will allow us to provide better support for pagans when they're in any healthcare setting, such as a hospital or a hospice. Obviously, we continue with the work that we've always done, but particularly advocacy work. And I'm reliably informed by our advocacy officer that we've dealt with 23 advocacy cases in the last year. That's just over one a fortnight. That's too many, but we'll keep on doing it. When I first took up the seat last May, the main thing that was on the agenda was ensuring that the Pagan Federation applied for and reached its charity status. So we've been working really hard behind the scenes to make sure that as an organisation we're up to those standards. We're currently undertaking a review of all our policies and procedures to bring them in line with best practice. We've done quite a lot in terms of looking after volunteers So there's some quite major changes with that. We've produced a new induction pack, for example. We're designing a new ID card. We're partway through the process of developing volunteer training, and we're reviewing all our role descriptions and volunteer paperwork. We've also set up a new pastoral support team to provide pastoral support for our officers when they're doing their PF work. We're also reviewing and updating all our websites. So the community support site is pretty much done. The main website is on its way, and you will notice lots of new content going up there. We've got a new Pagan Dawn site, and we're working on starting off district websites as well. You will have noticed that Pagan Dawn has had a little bit of an overhaul. I really hope you have all enjoyed this last issue that landed on your doorsteps over the last couple of weeks. We decided to do a trial of recycled paper, so please do let us know what you think. We also, a couple of years ago, we ran an internal communications subcommittee, so we're finalising the work that it became evident was needed off the back of that. And we've launched our new external communications subcommittee as well. So later on today, we'll be launching our new survey so that you can tell us how we're doing. And we're also looking to better communications and relationships with pagan and non-pagan organisations that we should be working with, and also being more proactive in the work that we do with press and media rather than reactive when an article or a video or a TV show comes in that's problematic. What we're going to do is we're going to be a little bit more proactive. There's lots of other things that are going to be happening across this year. I'm not going to tell you about them now because they're a bit of a secret at the moment. But we will be filling you in as the year goes on. I hope you'll stick around. I hope you'll support us as we move forward through this 50th year and beyond. And I look forward to seeing you all later. Thank you.